Hello, world, and hello, amazing Philippines. Good day. Today, we're going to discuss the continuation of Module 5, and we are now with, of course, Lesson 3. And the title is, of course, the Assure Model. Again, this is, of course, your teacher, Sir A, saying, of course, good day to all. And for, of course, our lesson outcomes, we have the following. Number one is to identify the learning theories and, of course, the principles applied in the use and design of learning lessons with technology. And lastly, of course, applied the Assure model in crafting a lesson plan. Okay, always remember that a well-planned lesson, okay, is half of course, the battle won. Yeah, I like that quotation. So the other half is, of course, the delivery of the lesson by the facilitator, who has, of course, the pedagogical skills in implementing what has been, of course, planned. So these will, of course, ensure the achievement of learning outcomes. And this will, of course, engage also our learners to perform expected, of course, standards. That is why it is important that before, of course, teaching, okay, elements needed to be, of course, incorporated when designing a plan. They have to be, of course, plotted as well. Okay, so of course, particularly in this lesson, we are of course talking with, of course, the Assure model. So in everything we do, particularly of course in teaching, there is of course the instructional planning, and I want to say, of course, instructional planning. It's actually no a whole as a whole. It is considered as a whole that takes account the use of media and could be, of course, effectively implemented using an approach now acronym ASSURE. And of course, the ASSURE model is a procedural guide for planning, conducting, and evaluating instruction that, of course, incorporates instructional media. And when we say, of course, an Azure, it is an instructional design model that has, of course, the goal of producing more effective teaching and learning. Thus, Azure is an acronym that stands for the various steps in the model. Okay, let's have this figure. So you can see actually the Azure model now. And we will start, of course, with letter A, which is, of course, analyze learners. So this is done actually before the semester, or if we're going to talk about, of course, in the elementary and high school, not junior, senior high school, it's probably before now the first grading or the grading starts. So going back to letter A, okay, we have, of course, analyze learners. So here, of course, we should know, of course, who is our audience. When we say, first, the audience, of course, these are our students. Okay, we talk about, of course, their demographics, no, the pedagogy and the andragogy. We will discuss later on what is andragogy. And even, of course, we should know the general characteristics, no, of our students or learners. And then we have, of course, their entry competencies. Are they competent enough, or they're zero base, of course, with the competencies, and even, of course, the learning styles. So we should know their learning styles. After A is letter S, which is, of course, state objectives. So, of course, this is done as a preparation prior to instruction. So who are setting, of course, the objectives? Of course, the teachers. So we should be guided by the following. So what do students need to learn? And it talks about, of course, the learning outcomes, assessment. Okay, and of course, the course rubric, supposing there is no, that of course can measure the skill, the concept, the proficiency, the accuracy, and even the conditions of performance. So after that state the objectives, we go to now to the select methods, media, and materials. Here, the question is, what do instructors needs to use, no? Need to use rather for face-to-face, supposing there is no, we also have hybrid and of course online teaching. So here, of course, this is conducted no, when of course the instruction begins. So we probably the question is how we're going to select instructional materials. Okay, and of course, how do we produce new materials? So you can probably select, okay, and of course, produce new materials. Supposing you don't have materials, and of course, repurpose existing materials. I like that one, no? You do not go back to the zero when we say repurpose. Okay, there is already existing, but you need to use it again. Probably you can modify. Okay, and after that third letter S is we have, of course, the U, utilize media, and of course, the materials. So here, of course, the questions are, please now, how do instructors use the materials? How are you going to use it? So you need to, of course, preview the materials first, then prepare environment. Na. It's very important that we need to prepare also the environment. Okay, and of course, we need to provide instructions. Okay, after the U is the R. Okay, it's probably during the instruction. So now we need to require learner participation. In what way? So students will, of course, will actively engage in discussion, the small group activities, and even formative assessment. And lastly, of course, is letter A, which is conducted during the NR at the end of the semester. So E stands for evaluate and, of course, revise. Yeah, no? So the questions probably that we need to have is what works, no, what doesn't. So it talks about, of course, of the summative evaluation of the following. So we have instructional delivery, the media and materials, and of course the okay, revise to improve for student outcomes for that matter. Again, when we say assure, no, okay, we need to analyze learners. We need to state objectives. We need to select methods, media, and materials. We need to utilize media materials, no? Then we need to require learner participation. And lastly, of course, we need to evaluate and revise. So because this is a process, probably you can go back no, to what steps you will have, supposing you wanted to have, of course, a better output with, of course, the Assure model. Okay, so I mentioned in probably the previous slide about the andragogy of our first students. So when we say, of course, andragogy, it talks about the method and practice of teaching adult learners or adult education. So when we have, of course, andragogy, we consider the following. So we have, of course, the self-directed, no? There should be self-direction, the experience really counts, the readiness of the students, what they need to know, what about their motivation or orientation. So that's it. It is, of course, included. Okay, when I say andragogy. Okay, so in conclusion, of course, the Assure process is really just a matter of common sense, as probably not teacher that, of course, will implement. So, however, it is good to follow a regimented guide to improve, of course, your teaching technique. And any effective teacher knows, of course, that the perfection of their technique rather, does not come overnight. Always remember, not it will not happen just by a click of your finger. And there is always room for improvement. So by following, of course, the Assure model care process, you will be sure to improve your teaching for many years to come. So that's very nice. Okay. So let's have the digital storytelling. Actually, we're doing this one. Okay. Supposing we're going to prepare our lesson. It is actually a short videos, no? Usually 2 to 3 minutes in length. And a digital story can be made from, of course, a range of audio and visual elements. So the backbone of a digital story is a written script. So we need to have, of course, a script approximately 250 words long. Again, 250 words long. And of course, the script is turned into an audio voice over and combined, of course, with visuals such as photos. Now we can have a drawings, also diagrams, video, and animations to create a digital story. So that's it. Okay, and digital storytelling combines, of course, the best two worlds, no? The new world of digitized video photography and art, and of course, the old world of telling stories. So this means that when we say, of course, the old world of PowerPoint slides filled with, of course, bullet point statements with, of course, will be, of course, replaced by a new world, no, of examples, via stories accompanied by evocative images and sounds. I like the word evocative, no? Images and sounds. Okay. So we have steps in producing a digital story according to Dr. Bilbao et al. In 2019. So we have, of course, the first is brainstorming of the story concept. Second is create a storyboard that will contain the graphics, sounds, text, narration, and music needed. Then we need to collect pictures, no, materials, and store them in an organized fashion. Then using productivity, put them together using, of course, iMovie. When I say productivity, it talks about the tools, no? The movie maker, the Vimeo, no? PowerPoint presentation, even the Potan, Power Director, the video, and the like. So that's it. These are, again, the steps in producing a digital story. Okay, and of course, lastly, you need to edit, revise, and of course, share your story. And when, of course, writing the script, you need to consider important elements. Okay, the first is, of course, the dramatic question. So you'd ask probably, okay, what will happen? Okay, or for whom is this? So that's it, probably questions that we can have. The second is we need to consider also economy, no? The expenses, the monetary aspect should be considered. Then we have, of course, the emotional content, no? What's the feeling? Okay. Is it happy, sad, no? Or a mix probably. What about pacing? How fast? Okay, what about point of view? Whose point of view is there? Is the point of view of the author, the actor, probably the students, or of the listeners opposing, no, or the viewers? Okay, what about soundtrack? What sound or music will be used? And of course, voice. Whose voice should be narrated, no? Okay, and so on, or be taken. So that's it. Again, when writing the script, okay, we need to have the following elements. The first is traumatic question, economy, emotional content, the pacing, no? The point of view, the soundtrack, and of course the voice. Okay, and we also, of course, the storyboarding is actually a valuable preliminary phase in the digital story, okay, telling process. And it's like actually doing an outline of the text or of the script. Okay, so the images or pictures that should go with the narration or voiceover, as well as, of course, the transitions or effects, okay, that can be employed to have an engaging production. So when we have, of course, storyboarding, there is a storyboard. It is actually a graphic organizer which creates or which takes rather a form of an illustration or image that is displayed in series. So kindly take a look with, of course, the series now. Okay. So if we will, of course, compare this one to lesson plan, so you can have shot one, can be, of course, the slide one, shot two, slide two, okay, and many others. So that's it. Okay. That's probably nice, no, as a guide. And we have, of course, models of technology enhanced instructional lessons. Now, because of the apps that we have and, of course, the tools, no, we learned in the previous lesson, there are a lot of things that, of course, students can create to demonstrate what they know or probably of what they learn. So you can have, of course, video. They can do sculpture, portfolio, mural, puppet show, portfolio. No, there is portfolio there. Of course, the infomercial, the flow chart, the diorama, collage, cartoon, audio recording, even bulletin board. No, you can have they can have also interview, no, advertisement, music, comedy, brochure, okay, brochure, class book, avatar, blog, no, they can create song, they can have dance, okay, they can have drawings, graphs, no, games, photos, no, and many others. Okay, so what does this calls for us now as teachers? Now we need to become creative. We need to open, okay, and elicit their creativity. So if we are, of course, positive into this kind of activities and projects, okay, we can, of course, elicit their creativity. No, they can demonstrate what they learn. So the best is, of course, they can apply. No, there is application of what they have learned. So always remember that a learner can be any of the four, or probably okay, these four no characteristics should be present. The first is contributors, no. So as of course learners, they can take part okay, in something or makes a contribution by working together with others now for a purpose like uploading materials such as audio or the video, now post a message and upload their odd photos for that matter. Second one is you become or they become, of course, creators. Now, learners can create a digital story, edit and share, of course, the content. Now, they can collate also digital portfolio or create a virtual poster or an interactive resource for that matter. And the other ones, of course, communicators. So learners can chat with classmates, no? Post a reply with a blog and contribute a comment to the thread or by probably using the chat room or web conferencing by Skype to discuss things. That's communicators. And lastly, of course, collaborators. The learners work together not to produce a piece of work, especially some research or capstone. So that's it. They can also participate in posting ideas now in a forum where they can, of course, give a synchronous discussion for that matter. Again, okay, in this modern world, of course, now if teachers are innovative, learners can become contributors, creators, communicators, and lastly, collaborators. The four C's that learner can become. We also have, of course, the blogging now. The blogging, of course, provides benefits, one of which is it allows, of course, you to improve your writing skills. So I like that one because you can probably be illicit. Okay, or we can elicit your writing skills. So that's it. Then blogs is we say blog, a web page that you need to construct and where, of course, you can compose and post your comments and ideas. And it is actually a virtual journal that allows you to share with, of course, the world with what you feel or think. I like that one. You share what you feel and, of course, what you think. If you're happy, if you're sad, probably if you're thinking about it, so you can, of course, have that also. We have kinds of blogs. Okay, the most probably is common is, of course, the food blogs, no? Fashion blogs, the travel blogs. We can also have music for those who are music lover, lifestyle blogs, no? Fitness blogs. So yeah, you want to be strong, yeah, fitness blogs. The DIY or do-it-yourself blogs, the sport blogs, no? Finance blogs, and even political blogs. Okay, those who are, of course, in line with politics. Then we have, of course, parenting blogs, no? We have also business blogs, personal blogs, the movie blogs now. Who wants like wants movies? Okay, so probably the movie blog can be for you. We have, of course, the car blogs, also the news blogs, pet blogs. Now, for those students or teachers who like pets, okay, you can have a blog for that, and even gaming blogs for that matter. Those, of course, students who wanted to have, of course, blogs, no, in terms of games. And the last here is, of course, the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. So when we say, of course, the WordPress.com, it is an all-in-one build your own website, no? Our platforms, and it's free to get started with. And you do not need, of course, any external hosting or external domain name. So all you have to do is to go to first the web WordPress.com. Okay, then you can sign up for an account and you'll be, of course, able to start building your site or blog right away. Okay, when we say, of course, WordPress.org, it is an open source website software and there is an operating system for your website or blog. So this, of course, software doesn't cost you anything by itself, but you need to have, of course, a hosting account, not a web server for that matter, in order to use it, which often comes with, of course, a price tag. So there is, of course, payment, no? Okay, so that's it. For our references, you can see it here. And of course, that's the end of our lesson, no? With lesson 3, particularly module 3. Okay, this is again your Sir A. Of course, saying you thank you for, of course, being with me and of course, listening well. I hope you learned something for today. Okay, take good care. Thank you. Okay, kindly click again, like and share this video so that others also can learn, okay, regarding, of course, our lesson. See you soon. Okay, God bless everybody. Bye-bye.